Welcome back to A Moment in History. I'm Seth Udinsky. Well, in our march through history, let's journey back to a contentious time in the American story, the antebellum years. And by the way, this is Latin for the pre-war time. It's referring to the time immediately before the outbreak of the American Civil War. Now, at the start of the last decade before the war, the last president to serve on the Whig ticket took office. He was a controversial fellow whose controversy may have made him a man fit for the times, actually. Let's explore the 13th president of the United States, Millard Filmore. Fillmore was born in the year 1800 in New York, and as a young man he entered the practice of law, which was his springboard into politics, where he served as a representative on the House. Now, he was the vice president for the Zach Taylor administration from 1848 until his elevation to the presidency in 1850. Now, remember, the country is a step away from the Civil War at this point, with the question of whether new states admitted to the Union need to be a slave state or a free state, so this was vitally important. Fillmore took over following Taylor's death in office, and he famously backed the Compromise of 1850, which effectively staved off the threat of war in the country. At least many thought it would be permanent, but it only lasted, in fact, for 10 years. Now, Fillmore was hardly an inspiring president during his time in office, but simply being in his position during such a crucial time earns him a prominent place in American lore. He seemed to lean more toward the anti-slavery camp, but in the same year as the Compromise of 1850, another law was passed that would be friendly to the institution of slavery. That was the Fugitive Slave Act, which helped escaped slaves find freedom, and it made it a punishable act and upped the ante for punishments against recaptured slaves. Now, by the way, this was an important backdrop to the famed Underground Railroad, which led thousands of black slaves to freedom in the antebellum years. Now, Fillmore infamously supported this law, no doubt because he felt it would preserve the Union, but it proved to be his political downfall. It left many Whigs angered and thus prevented him from gaining the support to retake the presidency in 1852. So Fillmore remained a complex figure the rest of his life. He opposed the emancipation policies of Abraham Lincoln and even backed the Johnsonian mismanagement of the Reconstruction era in the years immediately following the war, before his death in 1874. Thanks so much for joining me once again for A Moment in History.